Hello and good morning, BodySlams podcast viewers. I am one of your co-analysts, Chio Frost, and welcome to Breakfast and Body Slams season finale of season 1. That's right. This is, I believe, I want to say episode 17. Yes. But before I continue, I'm going to bring in one of our other co-analysts, and that is our man, the one, the only. He is definitely the better Bernard, better than that knob gobbler and that cheese whiz guy on the other shows. He is the Saint Bernard. Hopefully, we have some t-shirts out with him on it, with a big Saint Bernard head with the headset on, looking like Andy Reid a little bit. But he is the one, the only. It's Mikey.
Hey, everybody, here I am, the better Bernard. Chio is always correct when he says that.
That's right.
Always
That's
correct.
right. That whole knob gobbler guy, you know how he likes to talk smack and this and that. I sent a invite out to him to jump on the show today, since we wasn't having our good man Mr. Joey Image here today. He had some other obligations he had to attend to. So he will not be joining us, but much love. Go check out
Oh,
Joey Image. Joey Image TV. You can follow him on social media. Pro Wrestling Tees as well. Joey, he is that image guy. He's your Italian hero. Already, we didn't even start getting through everything yet, and we already got my man DB Richards, one of the days from the 2300 Wrestling podcast. He was
hey,
down.
Dave.
He was down in Philly yesterday at the Icons of Wrestling convention down there at the ECW Arena. They were throwing things down. And unfortunately, your brother replied to me. Unfortunately, I have a lot going on, but it is what it is. He can't make time out for us. The Prime show. He gotta jump on those low budget shows on Devereaux, especially that Gobbler one. That's the lowest of the low right
Yeah,
there.
that's
The Gobbler.
well. If you're looking at that, you're desperate.
I know you're really desperate. You're you're like drawing straws to see who's the loser. And speaking of Devereaux Sports, let's give out our cheap plugs as we always like to do. Check out all of our podcast teams over there at Devereaux Sports on either their Facebook page or even on YouTube or Twitter, whichever one they are streaming to. They are in the studio. We practically have a show on just about every night of the week. But I'm not going to run down the days and times and stuff like that, because we're ending the season of December. And who knows, come January, everyone might have new schedules for all we know. So I'm just going to run down the show names, and you can check out all their past shows on Devereaux Sports exclusively. We got the guys on the Sullivan Squad, which our man Sully runs that. Joe, he's throwing it down. The guys over at the Old School Show, Papa Bernard and the crew with Joe and whoever else jumps in on with them. The Combat Misfits, Ryan and Dave, throwing it down in the octagon and whatever mixed martial arts or any other kind of combat sports that's out there that they're starting to glove up, knuckle up, whatever the terms they use. The Scrapple Boys have been on hiatus. That is our man Chucky, Austin, and Sleepy. I mean Lieb on there too. I believe he's on there. Your brother Pat over there at the Gobbler Inc. and whoever joins him on that show, whoever's available. Us here Sundays right now, just like now, the Breakfast and Body Slams. That's right, we got two shows. And oh yeah, hold up. two. What I mean two? We got 3 shows. Don't forget about our
Yeah.
pop-up pipe bombs, which is basically it's impromptu, can happen anywhere, anytime, with anyone.
Anyone.
And right now it could be a pop-up now. If Dennis joins us, if he jumps in, he's not here on at Casa de Bearded Raven, the house of the Bearded Raven, I guess. Um he's up and downtown at meet and greet sign up there with some superstars, the likes of the Godfather and Two Code Scorpio. He's hanging out with. But if he jumps in on this, maybe he can be popped up over there on the Breakfast and Body Slams today, right here for our season finale. And let's give a shout out to all of our friends, all of our affiliates, the other podcasters that's not associated with Devereaux Sports, but are within the wrestling podcast community family. Let's kick it off with our man, Anthony Blackwell, along with Andy Header and Brian over at the Tornado Tag Podcast. Let's not forget about the 2 days, Dave Keener and DB Richards at the 2300 Wrestling Podcast. Rob Williams at the Bob Culture Podcast. Our man Will over at Backstabbers Wrestling Podcast. We don't get to talk as often, but I see him in the chat rooms a lot. Thanks to Pat putting us all in connection together. But yeah, you want to check out Backstabbers Wrestling Podcast. And all the way from Puerto Rico,
Conversación de Lucha Libre.
That's right, with Daniel Mercado and Emmanuel Barrios. But we have a whole list of topics to talk about today. I got my notes in front of me. I'm sure you got the PDF. Our man Dave is chiming in. He's saying Icons was fun. What is this? We post our 2300 wrestling season finale with Rhett Titus dropped yesterday. All right, congratulations, guys. So yeah, if you get a chance, go over, check out the 2300 Wrestling Podcast and hear what Rhett Titus had to say. You know, Rhett Titus just coming off of Ring of Honor since they had their release, but we'll get to Ring of Honor in a little bit. First and foremost, before I get into anything else, we wanna send our heartfelt condolences. Much love and respect to one of our fellow wrestlers that passed away. We did this on Thursday night, but we're doing it again today. He was the Embassy's crown jewel. He was in Ring of Honor as well as TNA. He was one of the top guys in like the X division. We are saddened to have heard about the news this passing week of the passing of Jimmy Rave. So if we can, I would like for us to just to have a slight moment of silence for Jimmy and his passing. Thank you, Jimmy. You contributed a lot to this great business. You will not be forgotten. Like I said, much love going out to your family and loved ones. Your fiance, Gabby Gilbert, she's a real close friend of ours. Some of us, not all of us, had the opportunity and pleasure to either at one time perform against you, like Dennis Reaper has. He mentioned. Some of us got the pleasure of sharing the locker room with you, and you were really humble, down to earth when I had interaction with you. Very soft spoken, behind the scenes. With me that was,
Right.
and a hell of a nice guy. But yeah, you'll be dearly missed, and we love you, bro. All right, Mikey, we have a whole list of not a long list, but kind of a short list, but we can get into other stuff. Unfortunately, I'm gonna go on record and say I didn't watch much wrestling this week, with me trying
Right.
to wind down of with uh the holiday season's coming up. So I've been busy
Right.
doing other things. I know you mentioned to me before we got on the air that you did check out SmackDown and AEW last night. So we will or Friday night. We'll get to that at the end of the show. If if there's anything interesting that happened, you can pop off and let us know. I'm sure all the other podcast worlds already talked about it, but we didn't, not on here.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance. So, do you want
Uh,
to hear the
I
good expert
do.
opinion on what happened?
I do, however, have a guest waiting to stop in the room here to give us his props, his hellos. He's a superstar, and he just happened to stop by my place right here. You probably know him. He's a legend in the world of us here. Yeah. None other than Andre the Guinea.
Hey, Andre.
See,
Oh, man.
see, I told you I had a guest, and he said I gotta stop in for the season finale, and so I did. I brought the little guy down. So, but right now he's in catering right now. He has lettuce and carrots down here. He's tearing up. So
Oh, man.
I'm gonna let you get back to your grub. Sorry about the paparazzis trying to bother you, but it is what it is. Okay, buddy. Man, now our ratings are gonna go through the roof. I don't know what to do. We're gonna get calls from networks now. They want our show. Let me get a little comfortable.
They want to see more Andre.
Andre the Guinea, that's right. He is a superstar. So all you lady guinea pigs out there, hey, if you guys want to breed, he's the man. He's yeah, he got big balls. Now we're gonna jump right into some.
I was gonna say, did he sign a multi-year deal like Kevin Owens did?
He probably did, I think.
Right.
Yeah. It has been reported that Kevin Owens' deal was supposed to end at the end of January of this coming new year, and apparently Vince and them put pen to paper, and a multi-year, like you said, a multi-year deal has been negotiated, and I think by the time it would have ended, I don't even think AEW probably would have, even though they have a strong financial backing, but for, I guess, the money they're gonna drop, and
Right.
and for like the best deals are like if you can get more money for less time being signed, that is the ones you want, because then it's less wear and tear on the body throughout the years. And then it all depends on his schedule of what kind of like appearance, royalties, this, that. There's a whole lot more that goes in behind all of it.
Right.
Kevin Owens pretty much, he held just about every singles title except for the
I was gonna say.
What wasn't he?
I mean,
I'm trying to look at my notes here.
He's been
yeah. He was an NXT champion. He was a Universal champ, 2-time Intercontinental champion, and 3-time United States champion. And you know what's funny? I seen a lot of great guys who end up being like a multi-time IC champion as well as US champion. more
Yep.
than any of the main championships. So it is what
The
it
only
is.
one he hasn't touched is the tag team titles. That's the only one he hasn't touched.
Really, that's interesting because I swear, no, he didn't have no tag teams. I
No,
thought
he
he
didn't.
did. Wow. Okay. But
But who knows? Now that he's going to stay with the company, that might be something down the line. That might be something in the future that he
I,
does get. And
I'm
wow,
gonna go with. I'm gonna go with if he does pick up a tag team title, it might have to go with his former tag team partner and maybe become his tag team partner again. Who knows? In Sami Zayn, because it has not have been confirmed or denied. It has been mentioned that Sami Zayn actually already re-signed with WWE as well. And,
oh, okay.
but like I said, it has not been confirmed with company officials as of yet. I know there's been talks for a while about Zayn and Owens jumping ship to either AEW or start working indies or go to Japan. There was
Right.
many talks about that. But
Oh, looks like that's not happening now.
okay, we got I follow if you can burp. Okay. Or I try. There, I burp. You follow us. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. I see at the bottom of my screen we have weak ones. Thank you very much, but I hope you do a better job than us. Yeah, we're trying to give much love, much shout out to everybody out there in the social media world, whether it's be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. And if you're a first-time follower, you can follow us on any one of those three platforms as of right now. Simply go to BodySlams Podcast. .com and you can see all of our social media links. Like I said, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, as well. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and on there you can check out all of our past shows. We have a video playlist of Breakfast and Body Slams, Thursday Night Slam, as well as pop-up plate bombs. And then if you're on the go, in the car, in the gym, or whatever, and you want to listen to some audio of our past stuff, you could check us out on the audio stuff where we are on like Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts. There's a list of them. So you have.
But don't forget, Chio, it is Christmas season. You might still have time, people. You could also order yourself a nice, cool shirt like Chio's wearing, the Breakfast and Body Slams t-shirt, or a Thursday Night Slam show.
Yeah, we
go into our shops and you will see the coolest merchandise you have ever seen.
Yeah, we have a spring shop as well as a cafe press shop, but I think we're going to get rid of the cafe press shop. We seem to be doing a lot more better business on the spring, and I kind of like their product of the material and stuff they put out and the way everything is done. So yeah, jump over to our spring shop. We got a lot more shirts over there. Like he mentioned, Breakfast and Body Slams, Thursday Night Slam. We also have the pop-up plate bomb shirt. We have some parody shirts of Run DMC shirt version of Body Slams podcast, as well as our OnlyFans one. And our exclusive photographer JoJo Photos is on there as well, so you don't want to miss out on that. I see we got the Gobbler in the room. He's trying to come in. I'm waiting. I'm looking to see if he has his camera set straight or not. We'll get him. He gives me the thumb up.
Didn't we come up with a new parody shirt there?
I thought he was busy, this guy here. But I did come up with a new parody shirt last night on the fly. Angela. I was bored. I had some inspiration, and I ended up putting out. I ended up putting out my own parody. Hey, you, Gobbler. We're trying to talk here. You can hear all your conversation in the background going on as I'm trying to talk about the show. I'm going to kick you out.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm trying to tell. Oh.
So, but I'm gonna put him on mute. So yeah, so yeah, so he's on mute right now unless I unmute him, unless he does it himself. All right, he's back. You're unmuted now, Gobbler.
Thank you.
I was saying last
What's
night
up, Gobbler?
What's up, Mikey?
Last night I was putting out another parody shirt, not particularly for the show, but for my own amusement. It was a Assassin's Creed parody. It's called Succassin's Breed. So if you have not seen it, just go there, check it out. It's only for shits and giggles. So if you're into that kind of stuff, hey, order that one too while you got a chance. Like I said, it has nothing to do with the show. It's just something I want to do. Mikey's designing stuff for himself, for his own personal line of stuff, and hopefully Dennis will get his bearded Raven shirt, and Joey Image has all his stuff at Pro Wrestling Tees. But we're gonna jump back into our news, notes, and whispers, as we got done just talking about Owens and Sami Zayn re-signing. Gobbler, what is your take on that, though?
It's good. It's good for the company. I mean, really, I think they were wasting Sami Zayn's years. But, I mean, obviously, if Vince wants them, it's for a reason. Kevin Owens, it's good. It's good for him, too.
Well, for Zayn, it has not been confirmed or denied as of yet. But Owens is definitely, it's a multi-year deal.
I think Sammy will sign.
I mean, it's good for Kevin Owens too, to get that, pay for, obviously take care of the family. But I mean, they obviously see something big for him in his career still left to go. I don't know how much of an older guy is he, but they still see like a lot he can do for the company. And obviously he's going to tell you that he's going to have some part of their near future plans. Excuse me.
No, it's all right. All right. I know you kind of choked up. You love your WWE stuff there because you're a WWE mark. We understand all that. Not like our man Mikey, who is a world-renowned exclusive pro wrestling reporter who touches everything, even whatever's the leftovers are in the fridge.
Hey, listen. I thought I was a guy who likes to touch things, but no, what?
Yeah, we don't want to know what you like to touch.
But listen, it's good though. It's WWE needs something, and the way AEW right now is booming with all these guys who can know how to use the mic, as far as Punk, MJF, you see the
speaking of MJF,
yes, exactly. I was just about
speaking of MJF and WWE. I heard WWE is interested in MJF.
Yeah. It's been talks about the TV partners and people behind the scenes with the mic skills and the talent that MJF. They are looking forward, and MJF did tweet out, the bidding wars of 2024.
24, yeah,
because
he could go either way.
Exactly.
I heard Triple H is looking to open his own company too.
I haven't heard that one yet. I have not seen that as of yet.
Mm-hmm. That's why I heard like Triple H is looking to open his own company.
I think I
thought that was NXT.
Something about that,
right? So it's amazing what's the front office going to do. But I mean, look, if they take MGF off AEW's table, yikes! It's going to hurt.
Yeah,
because
MJF is not only a great worker, but great on the mic. He's great with promos.
Right now, you see the WWE is trying to match it now with the whole Edge and Miz thing of intensity of having that kind of bidding and mic work between those two guys compared to a MGF and CM Punk. Like the whole MGF and CM Punk thing, like the fans could feel like that's like legit, not shoe, but like they could feel that kind of promo that's like real to them.
Well, that's like anything in the past. When you bring reality of real mainstream serious life situations into let's say a feud or whatever, it gets hot, heated, it's real, and the people tune in a lot more. For example, let's go back. Matt Hardy versus Edge with the whole Lita situation.
Yeah. Yep.
You want to go further back than that? We can go with the whole Kevin Sullivan and Chris Benoit with Nancy Benoit, woman.
Let's not forget the biggest, one of the biggest feuds, Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. How they like wound up hating each other even outside of it.
Not so much.
Not so much. It was because I think it was just more of a ego type of thing with those guys there, but the other guys was more real life. It was more family into it. Well, family meaning girlfriends or whatever, or ex-girlfriends. So it was so when they went to war, these gentlemen that I mentioned, it was knuckle up, some nice blows to the head shots. And I like and it made for good business. Unfortunately, they had to take real life situations, personal, private life situations, and did good business. Gobbler, you're like cut off. Do you have to put your camera down, or you got to sit up? Or
my fat head,
you can't put your camera down a little bit?
No, this is off the computer.
Okay. All right.
I'll do it. I'll do everything I can to get my.
You might need a booster seat.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, good call. Good call.
I'll get down.
You don't need a booster seat at the dinner table.
And by the way, I do gotta say something. I called something on this show months ago, and Dennis thought I was crazy. I said, I guarantee you now, it's all come full circle, that Heyman is going to go back to Lesnar, and boom.
We are not talking about SmackDown or AEW.
Just yet. Not just yet.
Not yet.
I'm sorry.
See, if you were listening in before you jumped in the room, you would have heard me and Mikey talking about that earlier at the top of the hour, that I mentioned that I have not watched really too much of the wrestling this week, and Mikey's going to start jumping in on that after we get through our topics. We're going to touch upon that right now. See, you like to jump ahead of the game. You don't know our format. I sent the PDF out into our room, and I'm sure you did not even take a glance over it.
Dude, as soon as I get home from the job, as soon as I get home from the show, I'm excited. As soon as I got the green light to get on from the wife, I was ready to rock and go.
So you hear that, Mikey? He as soon as he gets home from that low budget show that happens at 9:00 on Sundays.
Those are facts.
So it's all right. Money spent well, right?
Yeah.
Mikey, money spent well here, right? All right, we ain't got no audio problems today.
With a prime show.
We ain't waiting on any. No check mark needed. All right.
Absolutely. Hey, by the way.
Yes.
By the way, and to what you're saying, no check mark needed. Pat kind of knows. I've already gotten hellos and responses from Ronda Rousey and Booker T. And I don't have a check mark.
They love you though. That's why, because you are the Saint Bernard. Look how squishy you are. You're cuddly and all this, and then you got this guy down here with his gobbler turkey neck, and I'm
Mr. Warm and Fuzzy. Okay,
we're using you for Thanksgiving next year.
Okay,
we got the gobbler. We got the gobbler gooker down there. All right, not to get off of Sue. What the hell?
That was my phone.
What?
This guy here. Turn your volume down. All right, we're gonna get off of MJF because we still got about another 2 more years until his contract ends to find out what this bidding war is gonna look like. But speaking of what's coming to war wise, as far as I'm gonna jump ahead in my notes here. And speaking of AEW, so sorry, Mikey, let me jumping ahead. Also going off of AEW, there has been some invites from Dax Hardwood to the Briscoes, from FTR to the Briscoes, to come to AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash. I believe that's this Wednesday. I believe it is.
Yeah, yes, it is.
North Carolina. Some choice words were said back and forth online via Twitter. They apparently met up with the Briscoes. Briscoes was challenging any team in the wrestling world, any team. And at ROH Final Battle, the lights went out. I didn't get out to see, but I heard reports. So I think after the show today, I think I might go back and watch Final Battle, because that was, I believe, last week, I want to say it was. So that's one I definitely want to go back and see, is where the lights go out and out pops FTR on that ring apron, I was told. And these four gentlemen knuckled up, and they went to town on each other.
Not to mention that Strowman showed up right at the end there.
Yeah. But yeah, so the invite been put out there. There has been reports, which we cannot confirm or deny. There's people talking, saying that the Briscoes possibly already signed with AEW. So if that happened, that's a huge plus. So with that going down at ROH Final Battle, I'm going to say they were in cahoots working with each other, because that's not going to happen on any other show, really. Lights go out, they pop up mysteriously, and then now the whole the whole invite out there to come to North Carolina. I think the Briscoes are definitely signed. They're going to show up this coming Wednesday at AEW, and we're going to see them on the big stage on national television for AEW, and we're going to see what's going to happen between the Briscoes and FTR. I am so excited about this. Two of my favorite teams. FTR.
See, that's what I love about AEW.
FTR is a throwback.
You don't know what to expect, especially things like this. It's like, yes, you get all marked out.
Yeah, the thing is, FTR is a throwback team to the likes of the Brainbusters, the Midnight Express, and on top of that, they can go with today's talent of like even like they may not be luchadors, but they can hold their own when
I was gonna say they can hang with the luchadors.
You know what? They kind of remind me of the Guerrero Benoit kind of raggle tag team of short guys, but they got an attitude to them and they can work. That's what I'm getting with those guys, and they mix it up with the Briscoe brothers. Is going to catch the wrestling world by lightning, because it's going to be interesting to see those two teams lock it up. But I don't know if the Briscoes, though, are maybe 3 years past their prime for the wrestling world.
I don't know. I mean, because they kind of, when I see them in action, they're one of those teams like, yes, like this is, kind of like something you've been waiting for. Like, this is wrestling. Like, because like Chio said, it reminds you of teams they could hang with back in the day, like the Midnight Express. Like, that's what I mean. Like the wrestling fan in you like comes out. Like you get pumped for it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Look, I mean, tag team wrestling is back. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
it was definitely dead killed, maybe like early 2000s as far as the major promotions. Well, there was only one, but now it's kind of uproared as these past 10 years when they reinvented it, the Dudleys versus the Hardys, Impact Wrestling. So it's definitely has picked up tag team wrestling once again.
Yeah, one of the other things about Exciting to see the Briscoes. The Briscoes pretty much face pretty much all really the top tag teams out there, except for like except for like WWE and AEW as of yet. They've been going hard, whether it's ROH, Japan, and wherever else they work. They were working all the top upcoming talent that's out there, and they've been a part of ROH since like almost day one, if not. They've been a mainstay. They've been there to the very end until ROH releasing all the talent, and I think that's what got them this far of signing with AEW now, since the contracts are for everybody has expired, which leads me into the other topic of the rumors of the company shutting down of ROH. What is that? I hear something.
That's my daughter.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I hear there was a rumor of the company shutting down, and COO Jeff Koff announced that they are not shutting down. They are on hiatus still, because people were trying to rumor it since they are not going to be doing anything until like the first season of the like the first quarter of the new year. But apparently ROH has I believe whatever's going on in the first quarter, I guess they're trying to reformat everything, because when COVID happened, they were paying people to sit home, between the money they were putting out, the testing, and what all the other procedures that they had to go through to make sure everything was running great. It takes a financial burden on any company that there is.
Yes, yes, it does.
And the fact of the matter is that people out there making these assumptions that they're done for business, which they stated before that they will return after the first quarter, which so happened they already have a show scheduled up, WrestleMania weekend in Texas.
It's pretty funny you say that, because like I see a couple of their workers, and they're pointing out, hey, come check me out at MCW or whatever. The Brian Johnson fella, he was my sister-in-law's trainer. I know he's a mainstream worker for them. So now I see him put his stuff out there. Hey, come check me out here, there, and whatever. Yeah, it goes to show you that those guys are trying to get their names out there when these guys get ready to go shut down. Because I figure once you get to ROH, they kind of use you like a contract where you can't work nowhere else. But now that, I guess, if they're going to shut down, you go, hey, look.
Not necessarily, because just like AEW, AEW is doing the same thing as ROH done. Even though they're signed under contract, they're still able to work in other places. Because I worked in so many other companies within the last couple of years now, were guys who were still contracted with ROH as well as AEW. So no, it's not where they're exclusive, just like WWE. Once you work with WWE, that's it. You can't work for no one else. Nope. Back in the day when I was breaking in, they had so much talent where they wasn't using, because they didn't have that. At the time, we didn't have the network and all this TV and social media and stuff, where they had so much talent that they can juggle around, where they can go make appearances in other companies back in the 90s and stuff like that. But as time went on, they wanted their talent to be more exclusive, where you can't see contracted talent at indie shows. Before you could, now you can't. But as far as AEW goes and ROH, like I said, I was still able to work with contracted talent in other companies.
Okay.
So that's a little bit of freedom that they give their talent, though. See, because like the big thing that WWE has that always kicks himself in the ass is when they want to have these contracted talent exclusive to them, but they want to call them independent contractors. That's the problem. But they don't want to treat them.
And
but they don't want to treat them with
themselves.
But they don't want to treat them with the whole, with the with the benefit packages, health, that all that kind of stuff that comes with an actual employee. So they call them independent contractors, which independent contractors should be able to work for anyone at any time because you're independent. That's what it is. So
right, exactly.
So what's the point of having a contract?
Right.
They shouldn't. They should say what it is, exclusive.
Yeah. So has now going forward, has anybody seen? I heard only stories. Has anybody seen the video footage of the wrestler known as Hannibal from Canada when he was down in Texas and he stabbed the referee with a spike?
No.
I didn't see any video. Like when I saw this on the PDF, I was like, "What?" I couldn't believe it. But you said that you saw pictures of the referee, and he looks really bad shape.
I saw one picture of Hannibal. He claims he was he was wearing a mask, and he was stabbing the ref in the head with this spike. It was supposed to be gimmicked or whatever. He said he couldn't see that well through the mask. The referee supposedly was a ref that was able to gig. He was the gig, I guess, the gigging ref, whatever. If you needed a ref to gig, he was the guy. Well, apparently, I guess it went too far and out of hand. And it's not the first time Hannibal was brought up in some kind of controversy within the world of wrestling. He had some backstage heat with other people, whatnot. I'm not going to get into all that, but there is stuff out there on the internet. You just have to Google and look for it. But yeah, he continually was stabbing this ref in the head. And I seen the picture, and it was horrifying. So I'm glad I didn't watch the video. You thought New Jack dealing with mass transit video was bad, where he cut that kid from one side of the head to the other? No. This guy, when you see the pictures, it's like it's ridiculous, horrible. This gentleman's GoFundMe, his friends and them went to I guess was to raise $10,000 to help him with his surgery and other stuff to cover.
Wow.
So far as from me reading this, they raised 8,000. So they're like about 2,000 away. The owner of the company of World Class Pro Wrestling, Jerry Bostek, he posted a video on the WCPW Facebook page on Sunday to ensure an apology of the incident.
And saying that he's not going to be a part of the company anymore.
Yeah, he and I quote, he puts, I cannot, will not condone what happened last night, and it was one of the most horrifying things I ever seen, and they continue.
That is horrifying.
And they continue to say that he will no longer Hannibal, that is, be any way whatsoever affiliated with World Class Pro Wrestling down there in Texas. So no, I'm not letting no one stats trying to jack me up with a spike. No, I don't care what.
Yeah, no way.
For you, Joe. If you're the promoter, what do you do?
One, not even let it happen in the first place. I don't care if it's supposed to be gimmick or not. It will not be happening. No, I refuse. I mean, if you especially when you got a fan base where there's people who's going to be possibly bring their kids. Their kids could suffer from PTSD then from seeing this stuff. They could have nightmares and stuff. So
exactly.
So yeah, no. I'm all for, family friendly shows where like, yeah, you might take it to the edge, but you don't cross that line. You still want the people I'm like, you want to have those oohs and ah moments for the fans that want to come back, but you definitely don't want to scare them away. If you frighten the kids away and they don't want to come, then the parents ain't gonna come.
Right.
Nope.
So,
right. But it's because you got to put yourself in the whole aspect. If you're the booker, if you're the promoter, if you're the fans in the front row, if you know what I mean, it's like it's so much more that goes down to it. It's just like, and that's not doing these two guys. It's a lot more. I mean, I've saw a miscue happen in the ring before, and as soon as the two guys got to the back, I was told to hold back one of the guys, and I said, "Are you kidding me? I'm like 185 pounds soaking wet, and the dude over here is jacked up with a. I'm not going to break my legs or get my legs broken to stop him. I mean, it was total chaos, and it was just missed off one cue, and it got ugly. So
wow,
yeah, I've seen some stuff happen in the locker room. I was just like, wow. And the promoter and the booker was like, "Oh, Frizzo, go hold him down. Go." So,
yeah.
He said, "Yeah, right. That ain't happening."
Just heads up for everyone who's been jumping in and out of our chat room. The comments and question board in the chat room is open. So if you have any comments or questions, please chime in. We'll try to answer them the best of our ability. We'll try to get to each comment or question accordingly. Yeah. That's why he's there, to sit there like a wallflower and just keep it zip. And me and Mikey will handle this for you. He's there to monitor us, to give us a smack on the hand and put $1 in the jar for every time we drop an F-bomb or something like that. So fuck it. That's one.
Oh, there you go, Pat. Start putting in with it. Start it up.
Michael, we're gonna turn our
attention to moi.
Yeah. And you said you got our SmackDown and AEW stuff from Friday night going on. So yeah, so let's hear from our better Bernard.
Okay, so the main draw that everybody wanted to see, they couldn't wait for because of things that have been going on with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. Look, this is Paul Heyman, and I said this a while back, that Paul Heyman is going to show his true colors. He's going to stab Roman in the back, and he's going to side with Brock Lesnar, as he likes to say. And sure enough, when it came to it, he even was like, "Oh, please God," because Roman grilled him and asked him if he was the advocate for Brock Lesnar. If he knew about Brock Lesnar showing up in the past, he thought he knew the answers. Now he's not sure. And then Paul Heyman comes clean.
Now I have a question. Now on Friday night, was it guaranteed, confirmed that he was it 100% confirmed that he is with Brock Lesnar and not Roman Reigns, or is he siding with both parties or just Roman? I'm like, because like I said, I didn't.
Well, he made it seem like because he said, Roman showed up, he was all happy to see him. Well, it follows him to the ring, to the ring with him, and then when he tells Roman, which I knew exactly what he was going to say, because Roman asked him, "Why are you protecting me from Brock Lesnar?" And I knew right then and there exactly what he was going to say. And he said, "I'm not protecting you from Brock Lesnar. I'm not protecting Brock Lesnar from you. I'm protecting you from Brock Lesnar." So he's ready to cry, and Roman gives him a hug and thanks him for all of his service, and then drops the bomb. Paul, you're fired.
And
then
Brock comes out, I'm guessing.
Well, first, before he came out, Roman then turns around and gives Paul the Superman punch, which lays Paul Heyman out, and then his cousin, the Usos, go and grab chairs. They put Paul Heyman's head on the chair. They hand Roman the other one, and Roman, just as he's about to hit Paul Heyman, that's when Brock Lesnar shows up.
The music
and
hit
clears house.
Okay. All right. Now, question. From this going on, do you see it as a swerve? As far as what I'm going to say, swerve-wise, as far as, do you think they knew that it was planned that Brock Lesnar was going to come out? Heyman was hoping that where him and the Bloodline planned this out of them to go against Heyman. Heyman put himself on the line just to get Brock to come out. Then the storyline of Heyman pretending to be in Brock's corner, then screw Brock over at day one against Roman.
I can see that happening. They've done stuff like that before.
So it'd be like, it'd be like a cross and a swerve, it's like Pat.
I can see that happen. I definitely see Paul Heyman walking down with Brock Lesnar. If that's the case, of course he's going to walk down with Brock Lesnar to make it look like, okay, so now he's back. Now he's back with Brock Lesnar. Who would have thought, and then people, which is good business because people are going to speculate and think, okay, here's the end of Roman Reigns' title reign. Here's the end of being the head of the table.
I can see this happening. But first, let's hear from Pat. What's his scenario? How do you see this playing out, where it might go?
I'm glad you guys brought this up. So here goes my kick on all of this. So what they're going to do is, I think Heyman's going to stick with Lesnar now, making them because have you seen this stuff before where they were trying to make, Heyman and Lesnar the biggest heels ever by keeping the title for a long time. But the Suplex City thing is over. The way Brock, the way Lesnar puts, the way Heyman puts Lesnar over is over. So everything they tried to do in their path to make this guy heel is not working. He's too dominant. The fans like him. He's a freak of nature. So with this all being said, I see this happen. Roman's going to keep the title, but it's going to be like a freak thing of Sami Zayn calls him the title because it should have been his title. And like this little punk Sami Zayn got in the middle of all this. So this pushes the title back for like a Mania kind of a deal or Royal Rumble kind of a deal where like that following SmackDown.
Right. Either way, I think Roman's keeping the title. I agree with that. He's walking out with the title. I don't see him dropping the strap because it's going to lead to something bigger.
Now I do see him though saving this whole battle for Mania for his cousin if they get his cousin out of Hollywood. If not, they're going to go to Plan B and have him drop it to Lesnar.
Well, I'm looking at this scenario. Let's say it does play out where Heyman stays with Brock. Now, it would have worked better with my thinking if FTR would have stayed with WWE, the company. Them with Brock, with Heyman, would have been a great start to reforming a new Dangerous Alliance. But FTR is not there. So
no.
I can see Heyman with Brock forming a new Dangerous Alliance, but who would be the participants to be a part of? To go head to head with the Bloodline, which then there's only 3 of them right now, but I can also see them bringing up the Usos' younger brother. Now, Now, if they go and do a feud as far as Bloodline versus Dangerous Alliance, let's say WrestleMania, whatever, but then yet have Brock and Roman in the main event for the title, Heyman and Brock's corner. But what if the storyline progresses after Mania into a bigger feud between them and the Bloodline, just to make it even bigger? What if they incorporate I'm gonna go out and say it, The Rock. Let's say The Rock comes in.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna bring it up.
Hold up, as the mouthpiece, not in-ring competitor, but what if he puts himself as the mouthpiece of the Bloodline, so he can go jab for jab with Heyman on the mic? But instead of taking him away from Hollywood, all his other stuff that he has going on, because he has a whole stuff, he has a whole amount of stuff on his plate. I can see being being the new mouthpiece of someone's mic's acting up. I hear it clicking. There you go. Oh, it's come back again. So I don't know who that is. Mikey, you want to check your wires?
Yeah.
There you go. It's better now.
Okay.
It's back again, but whatever. I'll keep going. But I can see being the new mouthpiece, but not for long. Maybe just for a little bit, because the whole Heyman now with Brock and Brock's situation with Sami Zayn, I can see Sami Zayn becoming a new mouthpiece for the Bloodline. The go head to head with Heyman on the mic.
He could be, but
here goes.
I don't know. I mean, I could also see, like Pat was saying, the sort of Sami Zayn jumping in, like, the jealous guy. Oh, hey, I was the one that was supposed to be, I didn't get a fair shot. I should be the one fighting for the title.
Well, yeah,
all
but
that
that's
stuff.
what I'm getting at. No. I'm getting at the part where he will, even though we know we're not going to see him and Brock, I can see him just aligning himself with the Bloodline, just to
I got you.
Just to do all the shit talking that he can on the mic to Heyman and Brock and whoever else that they're going to start affiliating themselves with.
Here, how about if I was the writer, what other guys that look like Brock Lesnar? What other tag team? Why not go with the Viking writers?
That kid down in NXT looks like
okay. But here's the thing. I wanted the Viking Raiders to be a part, like with Brock, separate without Heyman, because it had that Viking type look thing. But with Heyman being involved, I could see it leaning towards a Dangerous Alliance type group. So it would have to be. Even though I'm not saying they're not good, I would have to say just the look alone to be associated with Heyman and this and that. They have, not the Viking look. And I definitely don't want to see them repackage them at all. I like the Viking Raiders the way they are. Okay,
I think they're a great tag team.
Leave them at is. One team that comes to mind that might be able to go good with Heyman is, I'm gonna have to say, Dolph Ziggler and Robert and Bobby Roode.
The Dirty Dogs.
Yeah, I can see them. Join in with Heyman, but you know what? But time will tell, and
right.
I think we'll find more, like, between the coming weeks and at day one. That's going to be our where we'll probably get all the answers after day one.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
If we can somehow split over this tag team of what's his name? He's tall. He's like 6'8". He's in a tag team.
Almost.
What's that?
Almost.
Are you talking about AJ and Omos?
I know he's like, yeah, he did like a dark gimmick. Now he's like in his Vegas. He won a lot of money. kind of.
Oh, you were talking about Happy Corbin and his buddy
Corbin, yes,
Madcap Moss.
Out of there. Break up that tag team. Bring Corbin to this singles gimmick, and I think you got something cooking there too. Because I don't know what the whole tag team gimmick, but this thing is not going over for me.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm curious what the other kids got.
It's just one of those. It's one of those shits and giggles gimmick.
Yeah, but
all right. So
we all said before about Corbin.
Okay, so since Brock and Roman and Heyman's situation was the top subject on SmackDown, what was the top subject going on AEW Rampage that you had going on for us?
Okay, so they had their main event match, which I think was the top part, which is Eddie Kingston, Santana, Ortiz, and the Lucha Brothers versus Daniel Garcia 2.0 and the Acclaimed.
Okay.
Because at the end of that tag match, toward the end, there was like some hook or crook going on, and Eddie Kingston wound up getting jumped, getting beat up, and just as the Acclaim was going to finish him off, and 2.0 were going to get their final hurrah on Eddie Kingston. The Jurassic Express showed up, and Sammy, what's his name? Sammy Guerrero showed up. He showed up. He showed up and made the save. So that was like their big pop of the night.
Yeah, one thing for sure I want to say, Kingston, he's a primetime player right there, you know, with AEW though. Anytime that anything involves Kingston, I get excited. I like seeing him work. I like hearing him on the mic. A lot of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's great with promos.
It's that real street.
Because like before that, they were like teasing him, and Eddie walks away, and they're going on, and Eddie comes back, and is like, "Are you done? Are you done? Come on."
No, it's not about how the promos go and stuff. And this, it's just that's more what Kingston is. That's real life Kingston. That's not an act, a gimmick. I'm like, he's serious like that and stuff. But then also but at the same time, he is a funny guy behind the scenes though too as well though. You know, I'm like, he's a good guy to talk to. He's funny, but at the same time, when it comes to be time to be serious and street, that's who he is, and that's where I mentioned before about bringing reality to wrestling. You know, it's just Kingston. You can't even say it's him turned up. It's just him naturally. That's what it is, and that's why I like when I see Eddie out there doing his thing. Yeah, I'm sure that match was hot and heavy because you got so much talent in the ring who are just firing away, especially when you got the Lucha Brothers out there. They can hit just about anything at any time on anyone. So it's like a pop-up pipe bomb show. So
yeah, could say it sounds familiar.
But yeah.
So I see that's great. I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know Eddie Valentine is on your must-watch TV kind of guys.
Eddie Valentine, no, Eddie Valentine.
I know that.
Eddie Valentine's a great guy. I know him for many years. I'm like, hey, but Kingston,
Eddie Kingston. I'm sorry, I screwed up the name. I butchered
it. Mikey, who booked this guy?
I worked at
This is a wild show we're having. I mean, who booked this show?
This season finale, it was tended to be pretty much relaxed because we're in the holiday, the pre-holiday, I want to say, of Christmas and New Year's. So we're trying to wind down, tone down, because we're all still trying to finish doing our Christmas shopping. I already got the tree up, wrap presents and stuff for everyone, and and we're just trying to wind down to get our thoughts and our head collected, and probably reformat the show's graphics and this and that. I definitely want to try my damnedest to do a new intro for the beginning if we can. So we got about what we're going to be like 2 weeks off, and then on the third, I believe the third week, January 2nd, I believe that's the third Sunday from now. I believe I don't have my calendar in front of me, but we're going to kick off season 2, episode 1, January 2nd of Breakfast and Body Slams. And it's going to be our WWE Day 1 review, since it's going to happen the day before, and whatever other news, notes, and whispers that pops up in the world of professional wrestling. We will talk about that on the very first episode, January 2nd at 11 a.m. So people, you don't want to miss out on that. And that very Thursday will be the very first episode of season 2 of Thursday Night Slam, January 6th. At 9:05 p.m. as we will have from NWA Power, Black G's.
I can't wait.
Man.
For anyone who did not tune in our last Thursday Night Slam, our final right there, we had a competitor, a star who just made his AEW debut on AEW Dark, and it was the Hawaiian Warrior, Kakoa. So he was on our last show. Me and Dennis known him for X amount of years, so it was great that we had him to come on for our final show, and we got G starting off the new season. So I'm looking forward to season 2 of both shows, episode 1s. We have a list of our events on the Facebook page. If you go to the events section, you'll see all of our dates of when we're going to be on for the next 3 months. So I'm slowly trying to fill in the information for each one so you know what's coming up. I know we don't have me and Dennis are flip-flopping on the guests, so
right.
We're not sure yet who we have for the second part of January and February, but I know on the first February show we will have I want to call him the tan Superman, Mr. Darian Hardway. He will be on, and with him being on, we would have all 4 members of the Dynasty from Super Crazy Pro Wrestling, which we already had Tony Batista. We had Deshaun Pratt. Now we're having G's and Hardway on right there. The 4 members of that established group in Super Crazy Pro Wrestling on Thursday Night Slam. But you know what? I want to thank everyone for tuning in for this short but fun season finale of Breakfast and Body Slams. I want to say thank you, Patrick. Yes, I'm saying Patrick. I want to say thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Because since February of 2021 was the very first episode that we did in studio, Breakfast and Body Slams. It was just, hey, we want to do a wrestling show, and I mentioned to Pat, hey, I do Body Slams of the production I run, and if it's a morning show, why not we do breakfast? So that's how we just say, hey, Breakfast and Body Slams, and it worked out. It was pretty much a brainchild, I guess, to put a wrestling show on of Austin and Mike Laurel to have a wrestling show on. We had Mike was part of one of the shows, but I guess he's mainly the sports guy now. He does a lot of the sports stuff. And Austin, he jumped on for many other shows as an analyst and part of our crew, but he's focusing, I guess, refocusing on, I guess, the soccer, exactly. So,
yep.
Hey, but it's been growing since day one, since me and Dennis was on the first episode together, and it just it was supposed to be a one-time thing, and then it happened a two-time thing, and then three, and then it just snowballed after that, and we just took the ball and ran with it.
I first of all, I gotta say thank you to you, Chio, because when the idea came to me beginning last year, I thought about, And, like I said, Mike Laro and Slayer, as we know him, and Austin were like getting my ears, like, hey, we should start a wrestling show. And I said, and then you were the first person I thought about. I said, I got a couple guys in my mind. I said, you, and I thought about Dennis. And then, like you said, we had the first, and with your trainer, Jeff, we, it was like one show, and then it was like another show, and then it kind of like, now it's just, and now it went from a, little wagon to a huge train, because now you guys got bookings and guests who want to hop on here every week. We've had Mark Jindrak on here. I've been talking with Charlie Haas. I'm trying to work something out with him, trying to send him your way.
Cameos by Rhea Ripley.
People are paying attention to this. So, I mean, like I said, I'm totally grateful. And look, it's helping out my channel. It's helping out the Devereaux Sports program. It's some more of an avenue. So, like, I know guys, the UFC guys, the Combat Misfits, the guys were talking with Chris the other day. They said, I'm more of a pro wrestler. What do? We sent them over here. Go check out Chio. I said, check out Wrestling Bison. We talk it all. So, again, this has been a blast. And now I get to see my ugly brother's face every Sunday, and not as good as,
Yeah, I was gonna comment because I had him up as the main picture, and I'm like, look, man, this guy didn't even comb his hair today, didn't get a shave today. I'm thinking
it's not the frizz, you know what I mean? There's only one frizz.
Come on, bro. You got dude, you gotta represent. You got, I'm like, and where's your shirt? What, it didn't come in yet?
I answered that for Christmas, so that's why I didn't get it yet.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're waiting. All right. So we'll see it. We'll see it in the new year for the first episode, I guess.
Oh yeah. I'm going to be sporting it.
All right. Yeah. I would like to get these designs out to maybe a local shirt maker. Even though people can order these online, and it'll be, they pay for and they'll deliver to them. But when people order our shirts online, the cut that we get, we don't make whatever you pay is not what we get. We get a small percentage. The rest goes to the company, because they gotta do the printing, they gotta do the material, and the shipping and all that other stuff. We get a small percentage, and that little small percentage goes to us staying on our air, streaming these 3 platforms. If things pick up by within the new year, and we get more of a income coming in of people buying our merchandise, we're hoping to put more and more and more product out for people to choose from, more different designs and stuff like that. So that way, whatever comes in, and we're looking for sponsors too for ourselves that we could reach out to. We're not going to be super crazy or anything, like as far as like charging an arm and a leg and this and that. But whatever comes in will go right back to the show. Would help us, instead of putting this out on 3 platforms here, we can go to more other platforms as well. So right now, like I said, we're only doing Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. After this, like I said, if we upgrade with the funds that come in, we can start streaming on Twitter. We will stream also on the Devereaux pages as well. We can link them all up together then. But we got to get those funds to come in for us to do so. Till then, you can jump on to BodySlamsPodcast.com and click on any one of the 3 platforms as of right now to listen and chime in. And we thank everyone for the support who keeps tuning in and checking us out. I want to give a shout out to all of our other analysts that couldn't be here today. Joey, Dennis, Austin. I'm gonna say Austin because even though you're working on the whole soccer crap, that fake stuff.
Scripted anyway.
Yeah, it's scripted. Soccer's scripted. It's not real. They don't use steel chairs. So. Yeah. I want to thank Mikey for since day one that he jumped on with us. He's been sticking with us. He's been he been working so hard to become a part of the wrestling world, even though he has a brother in the wrestling business. Himself personally was not a part of the wrestling, but he has learned to grow and adapt, especially grow and adapt to our slapstick comedy bullshit that we talk. so we talk a lot.
Not to mention, I do have a slight bit of wrestling experience, a very slight bit.
Besides beating Pat up.
But no. and being in a rink and taking bumps and
okay,
all that stuff.
But we definitely got to get you out more to the indie shows, dude. We definitely that way we can talk more indie. Because I know in the coming future, I have Pro Wrestling Magic scheduled for once a month all year long. So pretty much the day after Magic, when we're on air, me and Joey, because Joey lives near Magic, me and him will throw our review of what went down at Magic at the end of the show, beyond. But if we can get to other shows and stuff like that, I know in the new year I will be going to Super Crazy Pro Wrestling probably in, I want to say February, I believe. So Mikey, if you're available to go to Super Crazy, which is right over the bridge, over to Walt Whitman.
Right.
It's only 5 minutes. It's just 5 minutes over the bridge. Come, watch the show, take notes. Next day, we can talk about Super Crazy then. So, but Mikey, once again, thank you very much. Pat, thank you for inviting me on the very first show and
thank you guys for having me as part of the cast, part of the group.
It's
being one of the analists, as we like to say.
It's a family of analists.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of anal. I'm an analyst.
Yes, we know you're a big fan of and we actually have the .com where people can actually go to exclusively straight to that. So hopefully between now, the end of this broadcast, until we sign back on January 2nd with the very first episode of Breakfast and BodySlams, we have probably a whole new maybe layout, new format, maybe new intro, maybe new graphics, maybe whatever, new T-shirts, whatever the case may be. Hopefully we have a new product to show the fans, and we stepped up our game. So, but with that being said, I'm Chio Frost for the St. Bernard, Mikey, for the Gobbler, Patrick Bernard. This is Breakfast and BodySlams, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you for sticking in and sticking it out with us. Yeah, sticking it in, yes. Sticking it out with us here on Breakfast and BodySlams on the Body Slam podcast. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification button. Find out when we are going live. Find out who our guests are on Thursday nights. You can chime into the chat rooms. Simply go to BodySlamsPodcast.com and thank
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see yous all January 2nd.
By the way,
yes.
By the way, why Dennis didn't want to show up, because he knew Frizzo was coming. He's scared.
Yeah. Yes. Dennis was scared. He's busy rubbing elbows with the likes of the Godfather and 2 Code Scorpio. So yeah, he's scared. Yeah.
He wants to Frizz.
Yeah. He's rubbing elbows with them, and you're just rubbing lotion on your ashy elbows. So with that being said, we're out of here, everyone. We're tuning off for this season. Season 2 coming soon. Thank you for tuning in. Stay blessed.